There's been a breach of trust and scent.
Caleb watched Black Bag last week, and now he thinks he's Michael Fassbender. He's been wearing turtlenecks.
He called me Agent 2 yesterday. I don't even know what that means.
What I know is that someone's been using his Old Spice. But in defense of this someone, if the Old Spice is just sitting out, that's like communal Old Spice, right? Just like this whiskey I found in the kitchen, communal whiskey.
Welcome! Tonight we dine. And we reveal. One by one, you'll each tell the person to your left one thing you'd like them to change about themselves.
Is this like a game or something?
Let's begin.
One thing. I think you should stop using 5 towels. This isn't the damn Marriott over here.
Wow. That whole towel thing, it hurt. It hurt bad. I didn't know you felt like that. I guess, since we're saying something, can you please stop calling me Little Panic Princess in the group chat?
No. I think you should stop trying to make trench coats a thing. We live in Idaho.
She's right about that.
Perception is power.
At first, I felt a sense of relief as we went around the table because I thought I'd be called out on my poncho being my personality. But it was actually getting a little tense.
Honestly, I'm just here for the cheese and the chaos.
Truth. Hung in the air like a Dollar Tree candle. You ever use something of somebody else's? Something intimate? Something scented?
You're talking about the Old Spice, aren't you?
Oh, I'm talking about the Old Spice.
The Old Spice sitting on the bathroom counter. The communal Old Spice. Everyone knows it's community Old Spice.
That's the most interesting thing you've ever said.
Well, looks like I'll be buying my own deodorant now, but not my own whiskey.
He's watching Black Bag again tonight. I swear, if he starts monologuing in the shower.
Truth is a scent, and it's fading.
You know what? I get it now.
Welcome to the Burnt or Buttered podcast. Quick movie reviews.
And I am Stetson.
And I'm Toast.
Today we have a movie that I went and saw completely alone.
And today we have a movie that I saw with a friend. But we're not allowed to talk to it because it is Black Bag.
Exactly. And whenever I say black bag, that means you're not allowed to ask any questions.
Black bag. Right.
It is the easiest way to cheat in a relationship.
Talk about trust issues.
And that is what this movie is all boiled down to.
Trust. And it is super interesting how they went about making this movie all about someone's love story.
Yeah. Or as one Letterboxd reviewer referred to it, sustained foreplay for 2 hours.
So Black Bag is a 2025 American spy thriller that has Michael Fassbender and Cate Blanchett.
Cate Blanchett. Can't get away from her these days.
They both work for like a international kind of spy. We really don't even know exactly what type of company they work for, but we know that it's kind of top secret information-ish people.
Yeah.
And they both they both work for the same company, but different departments in that company. And so sometimes their information intermingles and sometimes it doesn't. So there's a lot of secrets between each other.
Yeah. Secrets, but they believe in full transparency in their relationship, which means I can spy on you and you can spy on me, and I assume that you're spying on me, and that's okay.
And so this movie follows Michael Fassbender and Cate Blanchett kind of working together, but also against each other in figuring out there is a mole inside of their company. And Michael Fassbender's goal and a directive of this film is to figure out who is that mole. And potentially his wife is on the list of suspected.
Who's the suspect? Your wife.
Yeah. And so this movie to me felt like kind of like Mr. and Mrs. Smith if both of them were nerds. Cate Blanchett's character is more of the field agent, and Michael Fassbender is an interrogation specialist.
Mm-hmm.
And so throughout the whole movie, he's using these interrogation techniques that seem pretty innocuous, benign. Like he invites you to a dinner party, and everybody's really nervous, but they're also thinking, maybe this is just a dinner party. Maybe this isn't a way for him to get knowledge from us.
Mm-hmm. In other words, someone that has that's on the autism spectrum becomes really good at reading body language and social cues and uses it for a information company.
Yeah.
It's interesting, but we follow these characters throughout this movie, and it goes into the personal lives of a few different supporting characters as well. And they all intermix into the conclusion of you figuring out how and who, what, why, and where, at the end. But yeah.
Yeah. And this movie really, really dives into the question, can two spies truly love each other?
And can two spies actually tell each other the truth?
Tune in. Let's find out as we dive into Behind the Butter.
Behind the Butter. Sweet. Well, I think for this movie, if you didn't like it, it's probably because you're too stupid to understand it.
And to your point, this movie expressly tells you that at every opportunity it gets. It says to you, while looking directly into the camera, Michael Fassbender says, "Are you understanding this movie? You're not. You're not smart enough.
You're not smart enough.
I've got this velvety voice with this British accent. You can't understand a thing that's happening, but you know it's smarter than you."
And that's something that I really enjoyed as I watched this film. Like from the opening sequence and the opening 15 minutes, you go into this dinner party, and in this dinner party, everyone has something that they are sharing but hiding at the exact same time. And it's so interesting to watch this dialogue that I felt like was just an intense, complex chess match. And that continues throughout the entire movie of there's such a give and take of I'm going to share with you exactly the amount of information that you need, but not enough for you to actually learn anything.
Yeah, and it's really interesting seeing how he goes about getting the information. They start off with at the dinner party. They start off by playing a game, and there's 4 spies, 5 spies there, and a therapist. And the therapist
of the spies.
Yeah, and she's immediately like, this is not a good idea. Let's not play this game, because the game is tell the person to your left what you would change about them, essentially. And it goes off the rails pretty quick.
Yeah. And I went into this movie not watching any trailers or anything like that. I had no idea what it was about. Just saw the movie poster and was like, why not? And so going in this, I was really intrigued just how everything was so calculated, and you really get that from, even just from the very beginning of the movie, Michael Fassbender's going through this club and targeting this guy, and he gets a list of people that are potentially a mole. And the guy reluctantly says, you have to know, like, your wife is on this list too. And so you're like, oh, wow. Okay, well, who is this guy? Is this guy good? Is this guy bad? What are we trying to figure out? And
all we know about that guy is he's a spy and he's cheating on his wife.
And it's interesting to see the dynamic of the way that Michael Fassbender, I can't remember his name in the movie. Not let me see if I have it written down. But the way that Michael Fassbender goes about, like you said, his information, like everything means something to this guy, and there's just such a little nuances of ways that he's trying to figure out the truth, because he's all about the truth. Like there's nothing that matters more to this character than not lying.
He hates liars.
Hates him. He'll do anything. He like sent his dad to like prison or something like that because he cheated on his mom.
He ruined his dad's marriage and career in one fell swoop. And it sounds like when this happened, he was like a teenager, and then he says, "No, I was 37."
Yeah, like the guy does not take things lightly.
Hey, do not lie to this guy. Yeah. He will ruin your life.
And it's an interesting dynamic of looking at the husband and wife aspect of this, and you want to believe the whole movie you're really thinking that this wife is doing something nefarious. And it just makes sense that she would, right. She obviously does not have the same codes as like her husband or whatnot. He would never lie to her, but he knows that she would lie to him if
she admits it multiple times. She says, only if I had to, which when are you lying and you don't feel like you have to? Like if you're doing that, you got something wrong with you.
Yeah. But yeah, the dynamic of their love and just his devotion to his wife is interesting in the way that I just don't feel like his wife has the same level of devotion that he does, but at the same time, maybe she does. At the end of the movie, we kind of see the dynamic and that it works, and that she always had just as much faith in him as he had in her, but they also don't. It's like a trust but verified type idea.
Yeah. Yeah, and you were talking about it feeling very calculated, which it's a Steven Soderbergh movie. He did Ocean's 11, all those Oceans movies. He's very into this like heist feel or like something subversive. Like it will surprise you. The big reveal will surprise you, and there's going to be twists and turns and everything. And the music actually was what cued me into it being a Soderbergh film initially, because it sounded so much like an Ocean's movie. It had that jazzy, urgent type of feel. And so I think that also propelled you into feeling a little bit anxious the whole movie. Like you just know something's afoot.
Yeah. I think since watching the movie, I've watched a few different reviews and seen a few different people's opinions on it. And the negative side of this movie, which I do see the negative side of it, of being kind of telegraphed in some way, shape, or form, that it's like a Knives Out situation, or like one of those, mystery movies where everyone's involved and you're just like, oh, like there isn't that great of a payoff, because the whole time everyone had something to do with something, and so there isn't really that much of a reveal because they're all implicated the entire time.
That was kind of my disappointment with the conclusion. Was, number one, the conclusion happened very fast and it just didn't feel like a big payoff. Like you had this huge buildup, like I said, sustained foreplay for 2 hours, huge buildup. You're feeling like, oh, something really big's gonna happen. And then it's like,
yeah, it was very quick. And it was interesting, just the idea and the fact that they were just able to just kill this guy just right in the dinner party and not really care.
Yeah.
That all of a sudden just, oh, you did it, bang, bing, bang, boom, like done, let's move on. And then they go on to have sex in their bedroom.
Allegedly.
But there was interesting moments in it. I do wish that we really kind of understood the boss's motivation and the boss's role in the whole plan outside of it, because it does implicate him, and it shows that he had some sort of role inside of it, that he's going to resign from his position because he knows that they're going to do something if he doesn't. But it was weird because they first introduced him as like a potential partner to his wife, that his wife could be cheating on him with him, and then it doesn't really do much after that.
It's Pierce Brosnan, so who wouldn't, right? But it did feel like kind of a waste of Pierce Brosnan. Like he's only in it for like 3 scenes, and he does have some good dialogue, but it just didn't feel like enough of a reason to have Pierce Brosnan in it.
Yeah, that's kind of what I felt like too coming out of it. I was like, I thought that he was going to be way more of a character. Maybe there's a bunch of deleted scenes and things like that he was in that really makes that character make
Most
a lot more
likely.
sense.
Yeah.
But like you said, there's 3 real scenes in it. And once you see him in the movie, you're like, oh, that's going to be an important part of this movie, you know, because he's a giant actor. But yeah, I think like that was one thing that really didn't button up for me, I guess.
Yeah, I would say the same. Well, we'd like to introduce a new segment to the show. It's called Hot Takes. And Stetson has got a very hot take for us right now.
My hot take is what I said earlier.
Did I miss it? Was it not hot enough? I'm expecting to be scorched here.
My hot take is that if you didn't like this movie, it's because you're too dumb to really understand it.
Which he also said after Inception and Tenet.
Because I feel like with this one, you have to really appreciate the chess match that's going on with this dialogue. It is crazy dialogue heavy. It is like very flat dialogue in a lot of ways. There's a lot of body language and things being said without being said that you have to really key into and see. You have to really appreciate the nuance of the acting that's happening in each moment. And so with that, I feel like if you don't get it, it's because you just don't appreciate good acting.
To your point, one of the first things that stood out to me in that movie was Michael Fassbender's posture. It was all very proper. He almost looked like a robot, moving around because he's so stiff.
Well, he just has freaking autism on the next level. And even when, she leaves like a piece of clothing on the ground, she's like, just leave it, it'll be fine. He's like,
I will.
He's like, I will, and then picks it up.
He's picking it up and putting it away.
Yeah. And so everything is just so meticulous in his life that everything has a proper place and a proper, setting. And it's interesting how, him and her meld their lives together to become such a loyal, unique, couple. And, to the, security operator girls, question is like, how do you make it work? And he's like, this is how you make it work. We spy on each other.
Yeah. You have to know everything about them.
Yeah.
Period.
Trust but verify. Type idea.
So my hot take is Cate Blanchett. She looks great. She's in great shape. She looks plastic though. Like her face the whole time. I'm like, she's too shiny or something.
What?
Yeah, I couldn't get into her as a person because she felt too plastic.
It's because you're watching Companion and you're watching all these other...
I'm just expecting women to not be people anymore. This is what you're doing, Hollywood. This is your fault.
She looks too unreal to be real.
She looks too damn good.
I didn't see that. I thought she looked like Cate Blanchett, which I'm not like a giant fan of her in the first place. So I was just like, I take her or leave her. I thought she's okay.
Well, don't look up. That's another movie she was in.
Well, should we get into the final pop?
Let's get into the final pop.
Sweet. You want to start it off?
All right, let's do it. I am a very smart person, so I enjoyed the movie. I'll give it a 3. It's not one that really blew me away in any ways. I enjoyed the cat and mouse of it. The mystery was really interesting. The dialogue was cool. The way that things went off the rails so quickly was super fun. The characters were really interesting and all of their motivations. It was a very character heavy, plot. And so overall, I enjoyed it. It just wasn't something that wowed me. And like I said, the whole time the movie felt like it was trying to tell me, I'm smarter than you, and I want you to know that I'm smarter than you, which in some ways made me disdain the movie a little bit. You're not smarter than me, Steven Soderbergh. You might be. You probably are. I don't know. I don't have a British accent.
He definitely is. For me with this one, I've had a run of just movies that I haven't liked. I've had a bunch of 2s in the last bunch of our reviews. And so with this one, I went into this one, I was like, I want to like this movie, and I did. And so I am going to give this a 4-star rating from me, or a 4 out of 5, because it was intriguing to me the entire time. Like I bought into the characters. I bought into the lighting and the color grade and the pacing. I didn't find the pacing like annoying. I found the pacing like enjoyable. I liked the reveals and the nuances of everything that was happening. And there was many parts of this movie that I thought were just really smart. In like the way of a Guy Ritchie film. And Guy Ritchie's one of my favorite directors.
I knew you were going to relate it back to Guy Ritchie. Like, as soon as I was watching, I was like, he's going to say this is like Guy Ritchie.
But the storytelling of a fast-paced storytell, but also just a really detailed, heavy sequence of things that is happening, alongside like really smart, witty dialogue. I really enjoyed that. There's a bunch of scenes. I like the lie detector scene a lot. I really love the dinner party. The first dinner party really was amazing to me and shot really, really well. And I bought into Michael Fassbender's performance of this character. So yeah, I enjoyed it. I thought it was really good. I do see kind of the sides of it that people wouldn't like it if they don't love a Guy Ritchie thing type of movie. Like I love freaking
Robin Hood. Or
no,
not Robin Hood,
King Arthur. I love King Arthur, and
Wrath
a
of
lot
Man.
of people hate King Arthur for some reason. But yeah, it's amazing. I definitely think that you should go see it.
Yeah, I don't see any reason you shouldn't see it. It is rated R, so I guess that could be a deterrent for some people. But yeah, great flick.
Sweet. Hey, if you are liking these at all, you should definitely share it with one of your friends that is thinking about seeing a movie, or if you want to see this movie with one of your friends, send this over to them. And also subscribe so that you can see the stuff that's coming out. We are excited about this podcast. We love watching movies, and we want to get better at giving you guys the reviews that you're really looking for as far as what you want to see in a movie. So yeah, do us a favor and like, subscribe, and or share this with your friends.
And tell us what you like. Tell us what you don't like. Tell us where we're wrong. Tell us where we're right. Tell us that we are not as smart as Steven Soderbergh.
Exactly. All right, and we will see you in the next one.
Pop.